Hi, I'm Connie Holtz.
And I'm Roxanne Dugan.
We're from Colorado.
And we love the Keeping It Real show.
It is my pleasure to introduce the host of the show, Mr. Brad Jewett.
And the man of trail himself, Tim Kimura.
Those are my favorite girls. It's all about you, Brad.
Man in Black tonight.
From Oak Point, Texas, the Tokyo Tex, the Kamikaze Cowboy, the Sukiyaki Jockey, the Man of Trail.
Here we go.
Tim Kimura. And from San Antonio, Texas, a man on a mission and a mission on his mind. The man behind the wheel at Keeping It Real, Brad Jewett.
What's up, everybody?
Go.
Welcome to a live edition of the Keeping It Real show. Brad Jewett and the man in black, Mr. Tim Kimura.
Yo, yo,
Show
yo.
him your shirt, Timmy.
Slick by design.
Very nice, very nice. As you all probably know, as you're tuning in tonight, we have the one, the only Mr. Charlie Cole going to be joining us here shortly. I am at this moment just sharing the show, as you guys should do as well. On your phone, get it out, share it right now. Get this out to as many as you can. And I'm just going to throw this out here right now. Everybody like it right now. We got 2 likes. We got 35 people watching. Come on. I need everybody to like that thing. Let's get it to at least 100 likes tonight easy. You know, we don't ask for any money to put this show on whatsoever, but those likes help us a lot in order to keep this show rolling. So please click that like, as somebody I know says, smash that like button. And let's keep it rolling tonight. So thank you all so much for doing that. We'll see. I'll keep you updated as the night goes on. Keep liking it. We appreciate you guys so much. Tim is back from Israel. Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, it was great. What an experience. Highly recommend it for sure. Beautiful. It's beautiful. I was very fortunate because it wasn't like during tourist season. So like when I was walking down Tel Aviv, it was like nice. It was. And I went by the beach, and I saw.
I was going to ask you if you walked out of the beach. First night, Monica and I were there. That's what we did, and it was
saw the beach, and there was a big row of kids that were surfing. Right, it was like a class.
Yeah, big waves, huh?
Yeah, they do surfing for.
Think of all the Bible stories that you've heard over the past, and you're like looking at that ocean right there, dude. Was that not surreal right there, or what?
Yeah.
That hit me.
It's pretty interesting like that. So, I'm excited. For our guest tonight, though. I know. Here we go.
Yeah. So all of you all that are up there in Snowmageddon, Ice-mageddon, whatever you want to call it, up there in North Texas, we thank you all for watching. And I was just catching up with Tim and Charlie a little bit before, because we have still ice on the ground here, but we are slowly melting finally. But we'll talk a little bit about it, I'm sure, when Charlie comes in. But just sorry to hear all the things that have been happening on the with all the barns collapsing and whatnot up there. It's just unbelievable. And I'm going to go ahead and bring Charlie in because I want to explain a little bit, because I've had some people asking me questions about it. And so if they're okay with that, Tim, let's bring them in. Let's go. What's up, Charlie?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. Did you win pickleball?
I did today. It doesn't happen very often, but today I did.
Hey, I beat Charlie, so when Charlie wins, I win.
That's right. And no tarps off today.
No tops off. I see Jonathan Mueller's watching, so I'm sure he's getting a good laugh right now. That's good. So real quick before we get into the Charlie Cole story, can you fill us in a little bit for those that aren't living in that area? We're seeing all these barns collapse and arenas and whatnot. Just kind of explain a little bit, because those that are built up north are used to it. They have buildings they're built for, but I don't think the buildings maybe here are built for. But just kind of explain, and if you know anybody that has had the issues, if you can just kind of fill, and myself as well, it's just hard to keep up with who's had some issues, and is there anybody that needs help more that people can help out? So,
well, I've been here 25 years, and we've had more snow before, once or twice, but this time I was actually in Africa traveling home when this all happened. It got a little delay because of it. When I got home, though, it's like a layer of ice, a layer of sleet, and then several inches of snow. And I think just the weight of that on its barns, barns and arenas especially. And I think this the weight of it is just pulling these down. It's really sad. And I know people have lost multiple buildings. We here at High Point are really lucky that we've had no real incidents. But looking I can look out and see the barns right now. There's still 4, 5, 6 inches of snow sitting on top of our barns and stuff. So it's a lot.
That is, yeah. I mean, just the weight of snow is one thing, but then you get layers of ice and snow, right? And it's not melting. It tries to melt, and then it just freezes back up or something.
Yeah, and the roads are like out in front of our house. It's slush. I mean, it's 6 to 8 inches of slush and ice that we're still driving on. Like 377 was pretty good today, but for the most part, we're still right in the thick of it. There's snow everywhere I look.
I need it to go away before I leave on Monday to come to Prairie.
Okay, so I've got 2 questions real quick. Tell me about Africa.
It was way better than I ever dreamed. I mean, I knew it was going to be good, but the trip there and seeing the animals in their environment, and they're just like, there's lions like 6 feet from you and they're cubs, and elephants just walking in front of you. Like herds of 16 elephant were just surrounding our vehicle, and they could care less about us. Got to see a cheetah hunt right in front of us. It was crazy. And the places we stayed we stayed at technically 4 different locations, but one was only for a night. But the other 3 were 3 nights, and one was like a tent camp on the Serengeti South. Ooh. We did another place on the Serengeti South at Ngorongoro Crater, which you have to see it to believe it. It's like going into Jurassic Park. You drive into this crater that's just, the animals look like they've just been placed there. And then we finished on the eastern Serengeti. It was a great trip. Went with my dad. He's 86, and I loved every minute of it. My sister and her husband went. We had a great time.
Any scary moments?
I think the first time the elephants, you kind of start, you take all these plane rides and you get to your first, or you think it's your first location, but actually you have a 3-hour drive. And right there, we saw elephants right away, and they kind of surrounded our vehicle, but it was all female, mamas and calves. But I was like, you're a horse person. You kind of go like, this is too close for me.
Right.
But I didn't care anymore. So it was all good.
Well, I saw one video. I commented, I said, that's a new definition of high point performance, because you're up high, like looking down at a lion or something like that.
Yeah. One time a lion came and laid in the shade of our vehicle. It just walked up straight to us, looked at us, and laid down. It was 4 feet from me. I mean, it was. I never dreamed it would be that up close and personal.
I wouldn't.
And the guides, everything was perfect. Like everything was perfect till coming home. We got stuck in Dubai because of the storm here, but not a terrible place to get stuck. But it was really, really an amazing experience. I recommend people to go.
I definitely want to take that trip.
I'm just curious, real quick, what was it like being with your dad?
It was great. I've been on the road for 33 years, and my dad was always around. He came to the World Show for 18 years in a row with his wife, but I was busy. I didn't ever get to spend the time with them that I maybe should have or could have, but he always understood. But he asked to go on this trip and to spend 2 weeks with them. He just left this morning. Yeah. Honestly, I'm so grateful for the experience, and that I could do that with my sister and my brother-in-law and my dad. It was amazing.
I'm impressed. You said your dad's 86?
86. And I mean, we played cards, and the game we play, I know well, and I win. My dad beat us more than we beat him. He won a lot. He's sharp.
Because my dad's 86, and I could never see him taking that trip. Yeah. Never see him taking that trip. But that's impressive. That's awesome.
Okay.
It was fun.
I'll dig in a little bit. So, do you go to Prairie Classic? Do you judge Vegas?
Yeah. Jeff is taking a group up to Prairie Classic. I'm not going, but he's only got I think 7 or 8. So Jeff and Luke and Brandon can handle it. And then after that, I go judge Silver Dollar, which I'm super excited about because I get to judge with some of my good friends. And obviously I love going to go see my old West Coast people, and I love Las Vegas. So I do that next. And then I think I have 2 days, and I am going to Sun Circuit to help there.
Yeah. So what's your plans for Vegas? You have a show to go to?
You know what? I'm always the one who's in charge of that, and I need to get with the other judges. I kind of know. I think we're doing
Yeah.
the magic show, maybe
Yeah.
Absinthe, but it's been a while since the magic show, and there's so many good shows. So
No,
I
Anthony,
love Vegas.
no going to get hypnotized.
God, I would give anything if that show is still going, because I mean, I would.
Those are the days.
Oh yeah! If you ever want to see something that you just can't explain, watch Tim Kamira get hypnotized, because I've seen it twice.
I have seen that. I've seen Jason as well, which something that I just try to.
It didn't work.
Yeah, exactly. I've never been to the show, but I've seen it enough. I don't really ever. I didn't know the show was dead, but I guess I'm glad it is.
Okay. I didn't think it was real until I watched Jason and Tim and Judy Bonham and Leslie Lang get hypnotized.
Right.
100% it's real, because they all did things that they would never ever do.
I saw Leslie's, and that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, there's no way she's doing that in her right mind.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Actually, I had Leslie. I went through the process with them. So Tim's on my left, Leslie's on my right. We were like, let's go together. And I'd seen the show, and I actually tried really hard to get hypnotized. And I went through the whole hypnosis process. And here's Leslie just like, "Bleh," and Tim's on my shoulder drooling. And the first part starts, and I look up, and they look up, and they start playing their instruments. And I was like, I'm out. And those two were fully in. It was amazing. I would give anything for that show to be back.
We were doing that.
We could get a ton of hits on our social media, Tim, if we play those videos.
I have the videos. It's also ingrained in my memory for the rest of my life.
Let's go back to Charlie Cole, okay? You've had such a successful, long career, and I've got to listen to a lot of your, I've listened to a lot of your shows lately. Tell me about what's your memorable highlights like early in your career when you and Jason were starting, or like that stuff in West Coast stuff that we did?
I think we definitely kind of did our own thing and kind of bucked the system a little bit when it came to all around horses. So I think our first big highlight was, I guess for me, because we did it as a team, was, Oscar winning the Super Horse. And we got Oscar in December of 93 when he was 3. And I think we won our first Super Horse in 98. So it was a process, but it was, I think it was just a goal that we set, and it took a lot, and we did it 3 times with him. So I think that was kind of what we always dreamed of, because Jason was from the Hunter world, I was the Western more, and we combined it, and we just decided this is what we wanted to do and what we did.
Does that give you, like, we're in the show now, meaning like you're on the board and you're on the top? Is that what you're feeling during that, or is it just a hurdle, a goal that you want to get to? And what was it feeling?
I think it was for sure a goal that I was not even sure we were certain it was attainable, but it was a huge goal for a couple California. We were 22, 21 when we started, so we were still in our early, like 26 or 7 when we won it. And back then we weren't known around the whole United States very much, because it wasn't like it is now. You didn't go to show all over the country. We showed in California, we showed in Arizona a little bit. So for us to come there and have such success and win the Super Horse, I think it put us on the map for sure.
So how about being so young? Like let's say the West Coast. When you guys were first coming out, you worked for Tim or whatever, your business together, you guys are quite young at that time. I mean, and there was a lot of older people, in that industry at the time. Did you blend in? Did you have to prove yourself? Did you, what was your feelings at the beginning? Were you guys cocky?
I think, Jason and I both, we were definitely not cocky. Jason and I were both very young when we started our own businesses. I think he was 18. I was 20 when I started my own business, and then we start our business together, High Point, like 2 years later. I think what we both knew was just to work and to train good horses, and we just really focused on that. And thankfully, we had each other, so we didn't have a lot of outside influence. We just had each other and we banked on each other. But I will say, I learned a lot from watching. Like Cynthia Candleberry, she's still the queen of trail to me. I remember just being beat by her and beat by her and beat by her, and I would have better goes. And I don't even like to watch other people, but I learned to accept that. And finally, I could compete with Cynthia, and so could Jason. And then we had a period where we kind of got to dominate the trail for a decade or whatever. But I learned by watching them, and I watched the best, whether it was Ted Turner in the halter, whether I like at the time, I rode with Tom Chowns, the Kid in the Pleasure, but I watched all the best ones when I could, whether it was just California or if I went to Sun Circuit, I'd watch Jackie Kirschke. I can remember just watching Jackie and being like, I gotta ride like Jackie. I gotta do this,
I think I'm trying to think of some of the other horses that when you were in California, Conclusive Barcody, like that was that kind of Oscar's time frame too, right? Like
it was exactly same age.
Yeah, that horse to me, because he did the amateur all around as well, more the Western side and the English side, because he was quite a big horse, I believe. And I think that was one of Sarah Simon's first like. She rode him, didn't she, once at the Congress as a youth or an amateur or something like that? For some reason, am I wrong?
Oh, you're right. That was one of his last hurrahs. But he started out as Nancy Alto or Nancy Renfro's horse. When we got him, he was a bit of a renegade, very different than Oscar, much harder, much tougher, but probably is. I think you asked this question. But he probably is the most versatile horse. I mean, one year Jason won the Hunter Hack at the Congress, then he won the Senior Western Riding. And he won the Hunt Seat Open Maturity.
Yeah.
Nancy won the horsemanship. I don't know that I've ever had a horse like him, but he didn't give you anything. You worked hard for it. But if you did your job, that horse was an incredible horse. And at that time, he was huge. I don't know that he'd be huge. I bet he was 16'1", 2. He was huge, massive bodied. He did the driving. He did everything. He's a crazy talented horse.
I was a big fan of his. I don't know why he popped up into my head because Oscar was more of the English side of the all around, so I don't know why that horse just kind of popped out to me. And
yeah,
as I'm thinking about your place in California, and it's just a scale of what you have now in Texas. But I mean, when I came out there, you had turtles, you had the arenas with trail, you just didn't have a covered arena, I don't believe, but you had everything you have there, and so you just taken your whole dream of it, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. The horses continued to grow and get better. You guys got better, obviously, and it's amazing your dream that you guys have put together. And probably, like you said, it's just sheer hard work. It's not like, hey, we're going to do this. Like, no, we're just going to work every day and get the best horses and do the best job that we absolutely can. Because it's like you snapped your fingers. And I wasn't even in the industry when you guys were started, but it just seemed like snap your fingers and you guys were the ones to beat, and you were the ones to beat for the next 20 some years.
Yeah,
I think
it's been good.
Well, the story though is how you and Jason go from nothing to something. Like you guys when you were young, because I heard it. You had your own little businesses. You went to school. You worked for Tim. You worked for Troy. Whatever. You guys were grunts. You guys were grunts when you were young. Okay, and now you're at the peak, right? You're going out the best, like
it all started right here, Tim. Look at this. Look at Johnny thinks it's a band camp. It's called Rawhide. It was called Rawhide, buddy. It wasn't band camp.
Rawhide band camp. You should see Brad play the trombone.
Quite the journey though from how you guys all started, right? And we don't have to go through the whole history, but I'm just saying anybody, I mean, you went to school and then you tell your parents that you want to quit school and go to work and ride, and you had the grit and you had the desire, but you didn't go make millions on the first month, right? You guys were
John Briggs gets the gold star.
There you go, John. You know what? I will say, Jason, one thing, my dad, when I was taking him to the airport today when we were talking, he was reminiscing about when he come to the World Show. He's like, at the first World Show, you were sleeping in the tack room, and you were, it was true. And I had Heather the first year I went to World Show, which was 90. I took a girl named Heather Smith, and she actually won the amateur all around, and she won the horsemanship, equitation, second in the hack, and second in the trail, placed in the showmanship, working hunter, and driving. I had no table, so my trophies were sitting in the dirt. because I didn't know. And I didn't. I had like a sign, and someone, I can't remember who it was. Someone, they'll probably speak up, but went and bought me a table to set these trophies on. But my dad was there that year, and he remembered, like, I did. I slept in the tack room. Jason slept in the tack room. We were. It's way different than it is today.
Right. Right.
But I appreciate it though. I'm actually glad I slept in the tack room.
Right. Well, okay. So, where am I at? I'm just going to jump to this one. So, let's say this is your last Congress that you're going to show at this last year. You might come back, but what was the feeling like? What was the energy like? What was going through your head?
I have to say, with this plan for me to have my last year showing this past year was started early in the year, and I started letting the clients know and my employees, so everyone kind of knew. So the closer we got, I really just went to a place before the Congress. I don't want to say I was so focused on being prepared, having my horses the best they can be. I had a great team between Jeff Malott, Brad Ost, Garrett Ashby, Luke Rogers, and Brandon. I think that's everyone. And my clients, obviously. Everyone was supporting me. And I told myself, no matter what, I'm going to enjoy every single bit of these last two shows. Good, bad, tired, whatever it was, I wasn't ever going to let myself not enjoy it. And I went to the Congress, and I did. If it was 2 a.m., I was happy to be there. And I just tried to absorb it all in and just appreciate the fact that this is what I've got to do for 33 years. And it kept me in the best mental state I think I've ever been in. I had a really good Congress, but there was still more on the table, I think. And I went to the World Show in a great spot, and my team was great. It's the best I've ever been in the zone, I think. And it was because I knew I never looked at it as my last ride. I just looked at, like, wow, how lucky am I to be in this position? I have these amazing horses to show, and this amazing team. And I don't know, I was in a weird, I didn't get emotional. I didn't anything. I just stayed happy and just enjoyed the whole process.
That's awesome.
So what do people I don't know, what do they say to you? Like, they say, what are you going to do next? Are they like, glad you're leaving? That leaves a spot open. Right?
Only Chad Evans was the one that was cheering that I was done. Pretty sure it's Chad. They might. You know what? Most people would come up and say, like, "Are you excited? This is your last ride? Are you excited that?" And I literally would just be like, "Oh, I just didn't react, and it didn't bother me at all." And I stayed kind of in my own space. I stayed around the people that I'm the closest to. So I just everyone was super nice. I actually can say that it was the World Show for me was as enjoyable and just a great experience. I just loved every minute of it. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in the Senior Western Riding Finals, and I never dreamed I'd have 4 in there. But I entered 4. And I got 4 in the finals. That was really hard.
Wow. So have you ever had a chance to look back at the process or the journey? Like, when you, like, let's say 95, right? Let's say World Show 95 doing trail, right? Here we go. Right. You and me head on. Yeah. Let's do it, And it's like 30 years later, your last walk, right?
Yeah. That was fun.
Right? I mean, what's that feel like? To do it that many times.
Well, much gratitude to you, because really and truly, our success in trail really took off. 93 and 94 I got trophies, but 95 and for that, all the 2000s, like, we had the advantage because we were riding on your courses all the time. And, you did amazing things. Again, it was harder back then than it is now. As far as your courses were harder then, but they still are challenging in a different way now. But I don't know, just keeping up and keeping up with the up and comings, because so many, the rest of the country blew up in the 2000s, and obviously, from 2010 to 2000 to now, the rest of the country really caught up, and they are they're tough to beat. And the people who do trail now only do trail.
Right.
Back in the day, it was, Cynthia didn't do a whole lot more, but most people, trail was just one more thing that you did. And now there's people that's all day long, they just drill trail. And that takes a lot. It's like I don't know how the pleasure people, I respect them so much because they could just go in a circle, go in a circle, go in a circle, go in a circle. I cannot do that. But trail, I can practice till I'm almost that long, but not quite.
So I feel like at the beginning you wanted to do the pleasure more than anything,
I was. My heart was the Western Pleasure. When I was a kid, I showed one time at the Youth World and placed. And I really thought the pleasure was the only event there really was, and showed that and worked for a couple pleasure trainers. And then when I went to Tim Whitney's,
Right.
that's actually when I got put on my first trail horse, and that was in 87 was the first trail horse. I went to work for Tim, and I just really took to it. I mean, he gave such incredible lessons, and I realized there was these other events that you could. I was just better at practicing and a little more could really focus on.
So did we meet like at 86 when you came to Reedley?
I came to Reedley in March or February, whatever month it was, in 87. 87.
And how
It was
old were
my
you?
second show trail in my life, and I had a show on a Tim Kimura course. I was 18. It was mine and Jason's both last year of youth, and Jason was there also.
And you wanted to tell me how
It's
to
his
do it?
hometown.
Right.
Oh, I did.
You want to tell me how it
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's he comes up to me. I have like A, B, C, and because I was only supposed to allow 8 obstacles or something, and he's calling me out like, you can't have that many obstacles. You can't have like 8. I go, who are you? Okay, like are you kidding me? We do this all the time. This is how we do it. I can spread it 3 maneuvers in one. Trust me. No, you get. Oh, Charlie. I'm glad you came a long ways to come see me, but you got to suck it up and do this, okay? I know.
Oh,
We had a rough beginning. That's great. We like it that way.
In my defense, I didn't ever do the open shows, the A circuit like you were from, and their trail was much more advanced. And a corridor show like West Coast Circuit, where I just started, you walked over 4 poles,
right.
and then you loped over 2 poles, then you walked over a piece of plywood, and then you carried a sack, and then you jogged over 3 poles, and you backed up an L. An L that was this wide. And that was your whole course. So in my defense, I'd never seen what you did.
But let's say like 95 to 2000. I mean, I'll reminisce for just a second. It's amazing. Like you said this before, like if there was 15 horses in the finals, 13, 14 of them were from California, right? There was like one or 2 ringers all the time. But I mean, it was like 90%. 90% was from the West Coast when I first started. It was funny.
Oh yeah. California dominated it for those.
And then even your amateurs were strong then too, right? You had great amateurs.
Oh yeah, Nancy. Many. I mean, Nancy Renfro, she won the senior trail when she was 16, and Heather, this is the 80s, won the senior when she was 8 and 9 years old in the 80s. So it was definitely trail was amazing back in California.
It was a time that no one. I mean, we remember it, but you don't get it. Back day, the West Coast is invisible right now. They have a hard time over there.
Well, they don't have any horse shows.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I got to thinking about earlier, just how things have shifted, and how, like you said, you guys were so ahead of the game, and you won your first super horse, and you guys didn't ever go as far as Arizona, and just how things have changed so much. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying it's changed a lot.
It's very different now. I personally miss the old days, and that's part of, why my heart's maybe changed a little bit. I think it's still amazing now, and there's some amazing, incredible horse shows, that happen. But it was more fun back in the day when you didn't see the same people at every show, and I would read the journal. I would, and see horses that I never got to, like One for the Record, or see horses I never got to see. And then it was like a spectacle to finally see them. Now we all see each other, and we all know the horses very well.
I will tell you one more hook, and then we'll go on. You know what the biggest difference is, Charles? No warm-up.
Oh yeah. I'd be all for it.
Yeah, like remember back in the 90s, I could never see
started.
me going out there and saying you got to warm up. You guys had to take your 8 12 poles and back a barn 9 or whatever and just go ramp it up in school, and you had to come see me. And I had the 122 pole thing going on there, and I was like on fire, you know, like trying to kill
that
all
worked
of
well for Jason and I. We liked the no warm up.
Me too.
That was
Yeah,
our
for
heyday
sure.
because we did it all in California already. We get the World Show. We're like, all right, we can do this.
That's an inside joke with Monica and I when she calls me and I'm at a horse show. Hey, what you doing? Take a guess. Trail warm up.
warm up. Okay.
Yeah, warm up.
5 hours later, what you doing? Trail warm up.
So I had some categories for some horses. Okay, so like I don't think you have to give me one, but like, do you have any horse that was the most unpredictable horse, like to show or to exhibit?
I'll give you 2.
Yep.
When I got I'm a Petite Classic, he was an extremely spooky horse, and I didn't make it through the Senior Western Riding at the World Show or the Congress for the first 2 years. But like Jeff was judging it one year, and he told me I was beating Harley and I was beating Vital Signs until the last change, and he just didn't change leads. And that's the kind of horse he was at that time. You had to accept it, and you punish him, you'd be in big trouble. So he just didn't change leads. But then he went on to be still, I'd either win in trail or he'd spook. So it was unpredictable, but I always accepted it because I knew I was going to win I think pretty much he would win. If he was good, he was going to win. And so I love showing him. The other unpredictable one, I'll go with not this past year so much, but the gray mare, Snap It Send It. She could warm up amazing, and then you could crash when you show, or you could warm up terrible, and you could have the best go in the world. She could. I mean, I think I showed her 3 years, maybe 4. I think 3, but this past year she really got way more consistent and just more fun for me. We also threw a lot at her. We threw a new rider to ride on her to show her and stuff. But you just don't know what you're going to get till you walk in the arena and you say, all right, let's just go. So, but she's amazing. At the World Show, she was so good.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, how about this category? Tell me the horse that you rode or shown that had the most heart.
Well, that's easy. That's Oscar.
Yeah.
That horse would do anything for you. Loved life. He loved every bit of it. Huge heart.
Which horse was the most challenging to get shown?
Well, I hate to go way back in the day, but the gray mare that I won the trail on.
Yeah.
We got her name's Cluzo's Candy Kisses. She was my first world champion. We had her for almost 2 years, and you didn't know whether she was afraid of cattle. She was spooked at everything. She ended up winning the Hunter Hack at the World Show. It's a junior trail and the junior working hunter all in the same year. Jason showed her in the junior Western Riding. She was actually a beautiful lead changer, super talented, but we couldn't get her down the alleyway at the World Show. So we had a blindfold her to go into the arena. He got into the arena. He got her shown, and he couldn't get her out of the arena. He literally at the World Show, he got stuck in the arena because she wouldn't leave the arena. So she was very challenging, but she was beautiful and freaky talented. But she took a lot of work, and she was like a deer in headlights. So you just didn't know what you're going to get. And when I won on her, she never looked at a pole. I watched the video recently. I think I showed it to Tim. I didn't touch a pole. The course was ridiculously hard and high, and the walkovers were wild. She didn't touch a pole, but she didn't look at a pole. She was spooking the whole way, and I just pressed on.
Okay. So besides Oscar, tell me who was another most versatile horse that you rode.
Well, we talked about Conclusive Barcode already. He was a freak. I would say that even though he didn't do the Hunt Seat, I guess he did the Exxon, but Zippo LTD was so talented in all 4 events. And he actually kind of changed Jason and I program because he was the first horse we got from back east when he was sent to us for Andrea Farley. And he had all the leg controls, and we had never had that on our horses. So I learned how he did it, but that horse was a machine, and he could do the showmanship, horsemanship, Western riding, trail, and there's another Western pleasure, and win it all. And one year at the Congress, he did. He won 5 for 5 youth classes, and Jason won the senior trail. And that horse was he gave you 100%, and he probably might be the most fun horse I ever showed. And I think Jason would probably agree. He was unbelievably fun to show and ride.
Where's Dickie fit into that?
Oh, Dickie actually is a dream maker. I mean, he made my dream come true, winning the Western Pleasure at the World Show, and he did it twice. He made Charnay's dreams come true. I don't know how many times she won. And then he went on to Susie, and Jason won the Pleasure at the Congress on him. I mean, that horse just was a dream maker.
Well, and I for some reason, this is what stuck into my head because I was still fairly new into all this when this was going on. But I felt like when you won the senior Pleasure and you won the senior Western riding on him, right, in the same year?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when that happened, I was like, I feel because they were so dogging on the Pleasure horse. Oh, my gosh, Pleasure horse, they're getting too low. That's too slow, blah, blah, blah. And I felt like that was a turning point year for the Pleasure in a good way. You know, that you showed off the rail, you showed on the rail, you know, because I was still kind of a sponge, just kind of learning a lot of stuff at that point. And when I watched that go, I was like, you know, I feel like this is something that AQHA could really grab hold of and use, right? Because you got a horse that's going to win the Pleasure and then turning around and then they got the Western riding pace, and that's kind of what we're all looking for, right? So anyway, it's just that horse always stands out to me, talking about the Pleasure and being able to do the Western riding the way he did. And we have so many more that do it now.
Yeah. He was fun because you could show him and ask for 100%. And I always rode the same routine. Like to the left, I'd be on the rail because usually I could find a spot. And then I'd reverse, and I'd always end up just out in the middle. And if they said lope, I could lope off, and he loped a 10 to the right. And so I just showed. But yeah, it was good times for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to move a little bit. I'm going to skip one. So let's talk about coaching a little bit. You know, like you've had such great riders come through your business, and I mean just so many of them, right? So what's your approach? You think, like, I'm going to say the categories are novice riders, youth riders, amateur, and select. Can you talk a little bit about each category? Maybe not so much a person. You can if you want. Like how you approach coach him. Were there any special ones out there that were challenging or whatever?
Well, I think Jason and I, for some reason, we always had the same mindset of we want to teach these people how to ride their horse all the way. You know, even if they were a novice, we were still wanting to teach them how to ride their own horse or ride good and to the best of their ability. So we had Harriet Yakutan. She was with us for 25 years. She wasn't the best rider. She didn't have the best balance, but she had a giant heart, and her passion for showing horses was huge. And she went through a lot of horses, but we let her ride. She rode a ton, and our goal was to teach her how to ride. It worked in her brain, but it didn't come out in her hands and her legs and her position. Or then you have someone like, you know, who's here now, Angela Fox. You know, she's a whole other 10 levels further than Harriet ever got. Now I hardly ever have to ride Angela's horse. Before I start to say something, she's doing what I would tell her to do because she's learned from us over the last, 10, 20 years, for sure the last 10 years of, what the process is, how we would fix it, how we school the Western riding. So, but our goal was always to teach everyone how to ride. And the kids, for years, when we did all the kids, those kids schooled their own horses. The Papendick kids, Charnay, I'm probably leaving some out. Andrea, they schooled their horses. They prepared them, and Jason allowed Jason and I just to get on and show and tune up a tiny bit. But I loved helping those kids back in the day because of that.
That's such a key part that I think if any trainers are watching, young trainers especially, like that is just so important. I tell all of my kids the same thing is the new ones that are coming along. I like to get where you really want to go. You really kind of got to feel like you got to understand the program and know, like you can go school it, get it ready, and then I can show. That's why I don't show some of their horses until they kind of get to that point, because it's kind of not fair to the horse until they're, till that kid can ride or the amateur can ride it the way you ride it.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah.
I've always, and Jason, this was always our motto. Like, our job, if they break it, our job is to fix it. I'm not going to put someone on a horse that's dangerous. I'm not going to have a,
Right.
old person riding a 3-year-old, and risk their safety. But if they're on the right horse and they mess it up, that's my job. That's what I get paid, is to fix it continuously over the last, however many years they've been here. So
Yeah.
I think I like that part of it, actually.
Yeah, easy rule to follow right there.
Yeah.
Do you think, as I'm listening to us, like we go back to Tim Whitney, right? Because that's who you and Jason would work for a long time ago. Do you think that Tim was such a great matchmaker, right, of riders and horses? He had a great eye for that. Do you think you guys picked that up? Because it seemed like you match your riders and your horses pretty well throughout the history of High Point.
That was always one of our hugest things. I think we were and really always worked hard to match horses and riders. And, I didn't buy horses for me. Jason didn't buy them for him. If we were buying for a client, we bought the horse that we thought fit or would fit that client the best. So I think that's an important part of what we do, is matching horse and riders and personalities,
Right.
horse personalities with that. And we also were really good about, my friend Reed's really good about it now. He took a good page out of our book. Like, we would just circle horses back in the barn over and over because we knew what horses fit us. And if we liked them, then we would just keep them in the barn. So, I think Harley had 4 different owners at High Point over the years because he was a great horse. So we never let him go.
So before we go any further here, we got a question, really good question to kind of fit kind of the topic we're on right now. And I'll share it, Marcelo. From Audrey.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Charlie. Thanks for time tonight. And congratulations on an incredible show career. Out of the horses you've shown and had success with, it seems they all had different personalities. Would you be willing to share the qualities that you think make a good show horse? Do you think it's independent on the rider or the event? Good question.
That's a great question. And I will say, at the World Show, my 4 senior Western riders are completely different horses. Not one of them's alike. For me, a really good show horse needs to have good movement, a good mind, and a look. If they have 2 out of 3 of those, you're probably going to have a really good horse. And if you get all 3, you're gonna win a lot. So, but I think it takes those things.
In any order.
Yeah, I think if you get a really good mover that's really pretty, but not great minded, you're gonna have to work hard, but you're gonna probably have a winner. I could list a few of those. Like Joetta Meredith's mare was really tough. I know she worked hard, and we helped her some. That mare was tough, but Joetta's tough. But that mare had an amazing movement and a beautiful look. Where like Majestic Scotch, he actually wasn't a beautiful horse, but he had amazing movement and a great mind and a great way of carrying himself in the arena, like a lot of presence, but he wasn't beautiful to look at. But I think you need 2 out of 3 of those. I mean, if your horse is ugly, it better move really good and be a machine.
Don't show it in a halter.
Yeah.
So how about, what do you think has changed like in the last 5-10 years?
I think what's changed the most is that, like, we kind of already hit on it, though. It's more in the last 10 to 20 years, but just the fact that we used to not all see each other all the time, and Jason and I always do this. We always peaked for the Congress and the World Show. We did not show at 100% or try to have our horses prepared 100% at every single horse show. We could show in California and have a good horse and, ask 60 to 75% of our horses. And then we would peak them for the World Show. Now, what I find a little disheartening or a little unfortunate is that every show we go to, it's going to be Sun Circuit, then we're going to go to Florida, you go to the Madness. You have to prepare to win and basically try to get 90 to 100% out of your horse for every go if you want to win or you want to win a circuit.
Right.
And the other part is, like I said, we didn't get to see the Ohio. I mean, when I was starting, Ohio had these crazy good horses and youth kids and stuff, and we would only see them at the Youth World, and then we'd see them at the Congress. I kind of think that's unfortunate that we're all doing this. We're all in the same boat now. But there's other things that are really good. The show quality and the prizes and the money and uh, is better. So it's a kind of a toss up. But I miss the old days. So
it's a catch-22, because of the expenses of you go show to 3 judges now, and you still have to do what you guys were doing, which really is my point, not about comparing, but you guys were masters at peaking your horses at the right time. I remember, I've had you ride my Western ride, like, what am I doing wrong? I never had Jason ride, but I would watch Jason so much, and I would watch him at, say, the Prairie Classic and go up there, and he'd lope up to the lead change and break to the trot, soften that horse up. And then the next show, you'd see him get a couple changes. Great. Then by the next show, he's like winning the junior Western riding. And it really helped me, because if it felt like if it wasn't perfect, like, I got to make this thing, I got to go. And it really just kind of helped me slow my process down and actually teach the horse an event instead of just and being comfortable in that event instead of just be a slave in a sense. It really helped me to develop that part of my horseman abilities. It was a truly awesome to watch you guys be able to do what you just said, preparing them for the big shows.
How about for your people too? So did you peak them out at Congress and the World shows, or how do you teach a youth or an amateur like not to go for it every time?
Well, I think you have to, each one's an individual. And I think you're fine tuning throughout the year. And it might be a youth kid that you've had 2 years. And so now they can ask for more every go. Or if it's their first year, you have to accept that this is the learning year. And, you're not going to, maybe you bought this amazing horse, but you still need to, there's a process. And I've said that forever. Like, you always have to do the process. And if you win right away, like I have Reagan Smalls, who just bought Dan Yeager's horse. She's a beautiful rider, but she's never shown all these events, but she bought a horse that's spectacular with the horsemanship. I didn't want her. She just started showing in Florida. I was kind of happy she didn't win because it's better not to win and to put the whole piece together and enjoy the process. But she'll probably, start winning here pretty quick, and she's going to be doing this for a long time on that horse. But it's better to have to do the journey and the process than just go right to winning, because then you usually crash for a period.
Yeah,
that's what I've learned.
Well, and in this day and age too, you point out so quick, and now you get shoved up to the next level, and then you're not ready for it sometimes too.
Yeah,
it's
difficult. Water.
Hey, real quick, Liz Teagan asked, "Will you be putting out a clinic schedule?"
Sure.
Oh, it's a great question, Liz. I am right now wading through, and I think Tim's going to get to it, what the next couple years look like. This year, I'm still going to go with my clients and help them. I would like to do some clinics. I'd like to go overseas a little bit and do some. But I don't have any on the schedule currently. But I'm open to it. And I used to do quite a few clinics, 10 years ago. So then I kind of just got so engulfed in this showing, and our business is so big in the breeding. But yeah, I'd like to. I just need to get it on my schedule. But this year, I want to wade through this year cautiously and enjoy it, and not put so much on my plate that I don't want to be overwhelmed. So yes, I will, Liz, but not quite yet.
You're calculated. That's good. It's good.
How about this one? Here's my great question. So throughout the years, what characteristics, skills, and personalities does a person need to work at High Point?
I don't think you have to come here with a ton of skill. We've definitely built plenty of people. I think you have to be a team player. We are really big on being a team and working as a team. For years we had monthly meetings in the office with our whole team, and it was very open. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you like. But you have to be a team player, and then you have to be willing to work hard. And most importantly, we're not going to micromanage you. So if you have 10 horses to ride, or you're supposed to load the trailer, you put it on your plan and figure out how you're going to do it, because we're not really big at micromanaging.
Yeah, that's good.
Why Okay, so using that part, why do you think High Point's business or your blueprint is so hard to emulate?
Uh, I think it falls on Jason and I having such our Jason and I get to get along so well and work together so well because his strengths are my weaknesses and my strengths are his weaknesses. And we've always known that. I don't know how we became so self-aware of it, but we always knew that. So I know what part I'm responsible for, and I know what part he's responsible for. I don't mix and meddle in his part, which is mostly the finances and all the business side of High Point. He handles it all. I'm more in the barn. I always rode a little bit more, a few more lessons probably, managing the barn and stuff like that. So we just always knew that, and we also were always very, very honest with each other. We were each other's eyes. We trusted each other 100%. If Jason told me that a horse, I might think it feels great, and he would say, "Well, it's doing this." I didn't. I'm not saying I never got offended, but I didn't get offended by it. I listened to him because I always knew Jason had my best interest, and he always knew I had his. And we, if the reason why we started working together is because he had hunters and I had Western horses, but I had a couple hunters and he had a couple Western horses. And that's when they started split combined events. And so we couldn't be at two places at once. So we started working together. And again, he trusted me 100% with his clients, and I trusted him 100% with my clients. So I think it just falls on that. We really have a good balance. And we're on the same team. We always were. I didn't care if I won or he won. I never got jealous of it. He beat me a lot more in the Western Ride than I ever beat him. But if I beat him, he was just as happy.
How did
So
you get
real quick, Tim, we've made it to 75 likes. Get us to 100 likes. We'll go a little overtime tonight. How about that? Charlie has nothing else to do anymore,
How
so
did you guys
we're
get
going to
from
make him go a little
getting a-
overtime. Get us to 100 likes. We'll go to.
how did
I
you
just
get
wanna
from compete? Go ahead.
I just want to say I just got my text that my dad landed in Portland. So, I'm so relieved. It was a long day. His flight got delayed like six times.
Oh, you're kidding.
But he handled it and he just landed. So I'm good.
That's awesome.
Sorry, Tim.
How do you guys at High Point do so well with your clientele? I feel like you guys have a good rapport with your clientele, and you're honest with them, and whatever. I just think that for people to have a business, it's the horses are tricky, the clients are tricky, and to make it mesh, they both have to kind of sync up a little bit.
I think one of the things is, I was a client back then. My mom was a client, and I remember how she was treated, good and bad. And Jason and I always just tried to treat our clients like how we would want to be treated. Be honest, be forward, be direct, do your work. Not every client fits everyone. I never get offended when people leave because I'd rather them leave and go somewhere that works out better for them. But we fit a lot. We've always fit a lot of different personalities. I have a lot of personalities right now. I'm going to go with Susan Wilson. She's been here 20 some odd years. Susan's going to do things Susan's way. And Susan and I get along great because I know what Susan's going to do. I don't let it upset me. Also, Susan knows, that I have her back, and she knows when she needs me. So we get along great. But she wouldn't probably be for everyone. But she's a businesswoman, and I know exactly what she's going to do and what she's thinking. And so you learn people, and you learn, what their needs are. Bonnie's needs are different than Susan's needs, and Bonnie's been with me for 30 years. So I think we just try to do what's best for the client and not for ourselves, I guess.
So how about with that? Oh, you have one more?
Well, I said not what's best for ourselves. That's probably doesn't sound the best because I wouldn't sacrifice my own happiness or, that. But I want to treat the clients like how I would want to be treated. That's pretty easy. If I was a client, this is how I would want to be treated.
How about I got one. We need to go backwards in time, and then I can ask the next question. So how do we get the name High Point?
We were at lunch in California. We had a small group of clients that were really and truly some of the best days of our show career, Jason would say. And we just got together and we were trying to figure out a name. And at that time, Jason had just hauled for the Nation in the Western Riding, which back in the day, that meant you left California and you went out east and showed buyers. He had a little trailer, and I think he took an English horse maybe, and he hauled over while I held down the fort at home. And then the next year I was winning the Nation and had to do the same. And so we're trying to think, with Harriet, we were at lunch one day, Harriet and maybe a couple other clients, and Harriet was coming up with all these goofy names, and I can't even repeat them, but one was like a peak and the little horse on the peak, and she's like Pinnacle or whatever. And finally, I think we just settled like, we're hauling for the High Point. That's what we do. We're high points are what we do. Because back in the day, winning the Nation and the honor roll was as big as winning the world.
Right.
And you got saddles and Jeeps and all sorts of stuff. So I don't know. We just settled on a High Point and that logo. And I mean, we ran with that, and and I'm wearing it. It literally it's been the same logo forever.
Well, so check that. Go ahead, Tim. Finish your question, and I got one. I got a
question. Will go is why has High Point been so successful for such a long period of time? I mean, being on top, being dominant in the industry. We go back to 90s, 80s.
I just think, I don't know, Jack said, I guess I just hit the lottery when Jason and I ended up working together. We just fit well. We surround ourselves with a great team, great people. We have people we trust being at home. People stay a long time. Christy's been here for over 20 years. We have Dan, Jason's partner, and he's the exotic guy, and he fits in just perfectly. Like if Dan needs something, I'm there to help. We all have our place. Jason doesn't really, go to the Tortoise House very much or go to the Draft Barn, but we work together. We work as a team.
Well, Dan was kind of a good glue, because you always had turtles and you've always kind of had like the exotic animals, and it was just, it did fit. Everything just fit.
Like that puzzle that just kind of fell into place.
Mm-hmm. So I have to put this question up, Tim, from Jocelyn. This is a really good question, Charlie. Think about this one for a second. Charlie, you have been such a prominent influence in AQHA. Who would you like to see carry on your legacy?
Wow, that's a Jocelyn.
Right?
That's a Canadian from the East Coast. That is a great question.
I don't even know how to answer that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. There's a lot of talent. I mean, a lot of people, you have Blake out there who's phenomenal. You have Sarah. Those people have pushed me harder than I've ever been pushed. I mean, there's a lot of young people. I can't answer it. That's a great question. I hope there's a lot more Jason and Charlies that come along. But it's harder and harder to find people that want to do the work.
Right.
I think we go back to the beginning.
It's just not hard. I mean, the industry's grown, but it feels like it shrunk too. You know what I mean? Like it's just the shows are different. You used to be able to show in your area, but then go compete against the world. Now you're competing against the world like at every horse show you go to, and it's just and I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just so different in that way.
Are we in overtime?
We are in overtime, and I got a couple questions to Tim to close this up. So if you got more, I've got.
Yeah.
Because my questions, I think they'll take a minute.
I got a big one.
Okay.
Can I go?
Oh God.
Here we go.
I see the look on it. I see this coming.
I want to ask you about this. Okay, so how about being gay? Can you tell me, like, in the early years? Yeah, I know. Can you tell me, like, I know, I'm going for it. So, like, in the early years, I mean, I feel like back in the day, it was a little challenging for you guys to be gay and be in the industry and how they treated you. And I'm just curious how you dealt with it. And now in 2026, it's a whole different ballgame.
Well, I did go to band camp Bible school. I I was in severe repression when I met Brad, and he will vouch for that.
I will.
Which it's a very sad time actually for me. It was like an amazing time, or a great time, but a sad time. And so when Jason and I got together, I was still deeply repressing it. Jason was a little ahead of me. There was only a few out gay horse trainers at that time. Thankfully, one was one of my idols was Curtis Reynolds, but I certainly wouldn't even talk to him because I was so freaked out about it. But he was an amazing showman, and he worked for Tim Whitney before I did. And
say Curtis Reynolds or Chris Slayton?
Curtis Slayton. Oops.
Well, I was about to stop you too. I was like, wait a minute. And I know Curtis isn't watching because he never gets on Facebook, but I'm like, I wish he was at this moment.
I'm trying to help you.
Curtis Reynolds. Wait a minute. Curtis Reynolds.
We just broke the internet.
I hope so. I hope he finds out. Curtis Reynolds actually was a friend and a supporter way back in the day. So I'm glad actually I said his name because actually props to him because he always supported Jason and I. Curtis Slayton, who's been long gone from the show horse industry, he's still around, but he was out and gay, but I was afraid to even talk to him. But I would watch him. I watched him, and I learned so much from him. But I think when Jason and I got together, I was still very much like people can't know, and Jason will tell you I was like that. I didn't want anyone to know. I wanted to prove myself by being the best horse trainer, horseman I could be, and present the best horses. And we actually did focus on that. And we didn't put it out there. I'm happy the way we did it. It's not the way it is now, but I'm happy. And I think Jason and I did kind of blaze a trail as far as being business partners and partners for the first 6 years. And we didn't really throw it out there. We hit it a little bit at first, but then we just kind of let it happen. But really, we just were two horse trainers that worked hard and wanted to do a good job. And that was paramount, that we prove ourselves as horse trainers. The rest, it was just a part of me and probably a part of Jason. It didn't have to be who we were.
Right.
I'm proud of the way I did it, and I have no regrets on it. I'm most happy that the little bit that I think it did affect us in the show pen, I think we changed a lot of people. I can think of several horsemen that were probably not fans of us or afraid of us or just didn't know us. And they're my friends now. And they'll call me on the phone and I think, wow, 30 years ago, you would speak to me. So, I think I'm very proud of what Jason and I have done and how we did it. It is very different now. And I'm happy for those people. But I'm also happy how I did it.
Yeah, and I think what you said, in my interpretation of it, is that you just didn't let it define who you were.
Right.
You guys kept doing your job, like you said. You were horse trainers, horsemen, and you were doing your job, and that's just who you were. It just didn't define necessarily who you were.
Yeah, it was our passion was horses. The rest was just a part of me that I wasn't changing. So here we are.
But it opened doors for other people. Like
absolutely.
I hope so, and I think so.
Made it acceptable, like treat you the same,
both ways for sure.
I got one more hook question, and I got one more, whatever. Tell me about how you guys did the speed events. Like, when did that come into play? And I don't get how you learned it.
Well, it came into play because in the late 90s, we had a lot of success. It was right before we moved to Texas. I think we both, Jason had been came from the jumping background. Had jumpers at the World Show. That was his first World Championship. Me, at Rawhide, it was rodeo based, and I rodeoed there as a kid. I did all those events, but for some reason, I was always drawn to the show horse side of it. And so when I left Rawhide, I continued on the show horse thing. But there was a piece of me that still, liked the rodeo part, and so we decided we wanted to do something that wasn't judged. So we talked about reining, we talked about some other stuff, but everything's judged, and everything we do is judged. So we just decided we're going to get a barrel and pole bending horse. And so the first one I got was a 4-year-old gelding, and I don't know, it's dumb luck or whatever it was, but that first horse, we called him Boomer, was a freak. And right away, I started winning the barrel racing on him. I had a really good, and Jason was winning the pole bending on him. I had a really good friend that we'd made right about that time named Dave Stinson, who still lives here in Aubrey, Texas. And Dave was like our guru. He knew all about the barrel racing. He was very involved in it. He trained a bunch of great barrel horses that went to the NFR. And we became friends with Dave. And I hauled 3 or 4 times a week to Jackpots. I hauled to Dave's house. And that's who taught me. I give all my credit to Dave on that. And then just watching, thankfully he knew a lot of, I met Charmaine James because I was trying out a horse at a rodeo. But through that same process. And so I just kind of evolved.
Cool.
But that first horse is pretty special.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
And that horse, his sisters, who we built our whole breeding business. I bought his sister for $1,200, and the next year is a weanling. And that mare is our top futurity horse right now, our colt, and our top rodeo horse that Sherry Serby's riding. They're all out of that mare.
No kidding. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Was it your idea to buy Slick?
Yeah. Jason would say yeah. So we were going to breed we had 2 top mares, Kelly Yates's great mare and then Sherry Serby's great mare. We bought embryos out of. I don't know how I got them to agree to that because it was nude back then. But we had these 2 embryos coming. We actually had 3 because one double ovulated. And this is back in 2012. We had these babies coming for 13. So we weren't looking for a stud, but we had in our mind we were just going to raise a stud and have a barrel horse. And I saw Slick at the World Show, and I texted Jason, like, I just saw a great horse. And then the next day I saw Slick again, and I'd never heard of him, never heard of his rider. And 2 weeks later we owned him. And there's a lot more story there than that, but we'll save that for another time.
Well, that's amazing. Like, who would think to set the barrel racing on their ear, and you found this horse at the AQHA World Show?
Yeah, barrels used to be, and they still are. There's still some great horse running there, but the top people used to run at the World Show for years. And the side note to that story is we did raise 2 stallions out of those 2 mares, and one made the NFR in 2000, and he was a dream. We actually ended up selling him, but he's a phenomenal sire and a phenomenal horse, and the other one's still sitting here. So we ended up with 3 studs, and I don't know why it worked out. We got things worked out pretty well for us in the barrel racing world. But Slick put us on the map, and it's been an amazing ride in the barrel racing world too.
I think you guys have a lot of follow through with what you do. When you see something, you follow through with it because and I appreciate your humility in saying it's luck or whatever. But I don't believe in luck whatsoever. You guys are truly have great eyes, and you guys trust each other more than anybody that I know trusts each other in this industry. It is amazing. I mean, as you can see with all the comments tonight, what people are saying about you, it's such a testament to you guys for sure.
I wish I could figure out how to see the comments, but I can't see them. So fine.
I'll
read them later.
They're distracting. Hey, go ahead, Tim. You got another one?
No, I'll go. You go.
For one, Tim, I got to get you to wipe the corner of your mouth there. Sorry.
That's the blood where I cut myself from shaving.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry. All right. Okay. So there you almost. You almost got it. That's just who I am. Okay. So thank you all so much for watching in this overtime hour that you guys earned for sure. But I got a couple questions. They may go fast, Charlie may know already what they are, but the answers to them. But what was your favorite moment of 2025?
That's easy. The placings of the senior Western riding, my horses were all on point, and they lined up right in the draw. Everything were lined up perfectly. I think when just that whole moment was amazing. And then when it got down to Blake and I, Blake's a competitor, and Blake doesn't say much. Blake works very hard. When it got down to him and I, and they announced me, that's the only time I almost got emotional. I told Blake, I go, stop, because he really said some wonderful things. And that whole moment, my whole group was there, my friends that my pickleball friends, just some real friends that aren't just horse people. They all were there to support me, and it just could not have ended better for me. And it really let me know like this was the right decision for me.
Yeah.
And I'm just full of gratitude and just my heart is very full, and I know that I'm so thankful it worked out like it did. If it hadn't have, I think my heart would still be just as full because it was just an amazing experience.
That's awesome.
It was like a movie, wasn't it?
That's what it
It
seems
was like a movie. It was like a movie. My clients were, it's hard when you're competing, client against client technically because they all own horses, but they all supported me the same. They all congratulated me the same. They all supported me the same, and that it just doesn't happen like that, and it really did. So it was amazing for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last question, maybe I should have put that one as my last question. We would end it on a high note. This may not end on a high note now. Sorry. No, but I'm sure you'll have a good answer for this. But so, what is something you would like to leave behind in 2025 and not take forward from 2025 past?
That I personally want to leave behind?
Yes.
I'm not going to miss riding in the middle of the night. So I'm happy to leave that behind. Sorry, Tim, I'm happy to not do trail warm up anymore. Those are what am I happy to leave behind? A little bit of the traveling, and I'm happy to just enjoy High Point and my ranch and my work on my health. So I don't know. That's a hard question too, Brad.
Yeah, it was something that my wife actually sent to me. She's like, "What's your favorite moment of 2025?" And what was something you would want to leave behind that you did that you're like, I that's in the past and I never doing that again. And I mean, you've mentioned some. If there's any more, you're welcome to mention. But
it's the practicing. I mean, you have to practice. You can't, especially at the big shows, you cannot just wing it. And I used to be really good at winging it, but you can't. And those other trainers that are up and coming, they're pushing. And I would see Sarah Simons out there riding. She's out riding me by hours each day.
Mm-hmm.
And so this past fall, I had to crank it up and power through it. But it's not easy. It wasn't, that part wasn't fun. But I told myself make it fun, so I did. But I'm not going to miss practicing. I still like to ride. I enjoyed riding in Florida, but I do not want to practice hour on end.
So
it makes sense. Go ahead, Tim.
I'm jumping in still. What's your plans like for this year? What do you see?
I'm very excited. I had a really good time going to the Ocala shows in December and January. I want to support my clients. I want to support my team with Jeff and all of them. I'll ride when I'm needed. I have a couple horses that fit me really well, and I enjoy schooling them up and preparing them. I haven't ridden a lot here at home, but at the shows I'm going to ride. I'm going to judge a little bit. I'm coming up, judge Silver Dollar, and I have the Back to Baron and the Paint World and one other one I think this year. And then mostly I want to really just kind of work on my health a little bit. I've been back in the gym. I went to the doctors today, got all my labs run. I just want to be healthier and a little more consistent in that. Probably need to talk to Brad and Monica about that.
I was just going to say, really, you need to call my wife.
I do actually. But it's hard. Our schedule and showing horses is really hard to do that.
It is.
I would get on a program and I'd get off. Thankfully my tennis and that stuff I am consistent on, and I get to do that at some of the horse shows. But I think it's time to focus more on that and just enjoy, thankfully, what we've built over the years.
I love it.
So when you turn it off, what do you like to do to turn it off? Do you like to listen to music? Do you like to listen to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram? What do you do, like, if it's just Charlie Cole by himself?
Well, sadly, Jason will tell you that all I do is play pickleball and tennis, and I played 4.5 hours of that today. I played both today. So he'll tell you that. But I do my stuff at the barn. I check the animals. I'll help where I need. I get lessons. What's that called? Doom scrolling. It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Because I don't even like. So I like social media less and less every day. But it's a necessary evil for those of us in the business and marketing. And I try to post I posted all those Africa pictures just because our world's in a bit of a turmoil. And I thought, I'm going to put something on there that's just fun for people to think about something else. But when I get in bed, I just doom scroll. It's kind of terrible. So I'm going to try to change that habit too. Yeah. I learned that from Sarah Simons, actually. I think she does it more than me.
Deanna Searle says, continue to make movies. White Lotus.
We went to Hawaii last year, and I don't know if you watched The White Lotus, but I loved The White Lotus.
Oh, okay.
And Taylor Searles and I, we made our own White Lotus movie. She was the star of it, and I was the director of it, and we made a White Lotus. And actually, I was in it. There might have been a murder in it, and the tennis coach might have made an appearance. But I used the music, and I made a whole movie from The White Lotus. I didn't post it on social media. I probably should have. Taylor was really good. She did the editing, and it had like who produced it, and it was really well done. And who funded it. We had a good time. There's probably another one coming because we go in March. I think we go back to Hawaii, so there might be a White Lotus too.
So we'll look out for that one on social media. You got more time to be able to do that stuff. I like
more pickleball, Becky.
Yeah. So my
also,
gratefulness.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
Could I add one more thing? One of the funnest experiences this past year was judging the premiere, and it was Brad, Jake, Jonathan, and I, and the mothers. But the four of us, we had a really nice schedule, and they hadn't played pickleball, and so we went to this ghetto park, and I would say I taught them how to play pickleball, but
he did.
They picked it up really fast, and we played 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
we played real serious pickleball, and Jake and I won until the most important game, which
winner takes all, baby. Winner takes all.
I think I put the stipulation on, and then there might have been some tarps off on one side to try to distract us, but we lost. Jake and I, but so there will be a rematch. But that was actually, we had so much fun.
That was a blast.
And so I'm grateful for that.
We'd like rush back to the hotel. Come on, Herb, get changed. We go. Jake's like, I don't know. I'm like, Jake, you're playing. Come on, let's go, bud.
Yeah.
He didn't want to lose.
Also, they're all more athletic than I am, by the way. I just have to work a lot harder.
It was fun. We appreciate your coaching. He can coach pickleball too. Plays by the rules.
My one sidebar here is, just in case you guys don't know it, that Charlie Cole originally originated the Make Trail Great Again. Remember? Because I think it was at Prairie Classic or the World. I remember what you're sitting on.
Tim, that's the first you've ever.
And you told me that.
I did. I remember that.
Awesome. Yeah. You need to trademark that and start making money off that, Charlie.
Yeah.
I don't see a trademark.
I think it's too late, but you know what? Tim gave me a lot and did a lot for me, and he's been a great friend. You both have over the years. But so I'm happy that Make Trail Great Again is one of the few great ideas I ever had. But I love it.
Me too. I always give you credit for that one for sure.
I'm still waiting for you though. You still just, come on, lay it on him one time. Give him like the '97 World Show Trail course.
122. I got to turn and burn it down, I know. It's in my pile, right? It's in the man cave. It's in the man cave, that course. I know. Never know.
I hope when I judge the World Show finally, if they let me, I hope that's the course it is.
That's how we'll bring it back to life again. Huh?
Or how about the triple stacked bridge when you tried to kill us all? Triple stacked,
they probably made that
sized bridges. They should. It was terrifying.
Because Orange County had so many bridges that we learned to play with them like that, right?
Yeah,
I know. It was pretty high. When you guys got up there, it was pretty high.
It's high, yeah.
For you guys. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We've covered a lot of ground, Charlie Cole. Wow.
Yeah, it's been fun times.
As somebody said, I won't look back through the comments and find it. Oh, there it is right there, Jocelyn. You are the GOAT. And I don't think I would question that, Charlie. Just friend to friend, buddy. Honestly, it's an honor that you're here, that you took the time tonight after your pickleball tennis 5 hours of playing that you rushed back home through the slush to come be here with Tim and I. It really does. It means a lot. You are a pioneer. We didn't even mention what you did during COVID when you did the online horse showing deal.
Oh, yeah, it was fun.
Brainchild. That kept us all going. I mean, how many people used that? So you've done so much for the industry, not just for High Point Performance horses, but for the industry. And I can't thank you enough, man. And I'm looking forward to still seeing you hanging out, helping your clients this year and coaching. And I'm sure we'll all see you around from time to time. But I don't think there's anybody that wouldn't say that they're happy for whatever successes you've had and the ones that are future to come, man.
Well, I hope that I've inspired some, and I hope I've put a positive. I hope I brought some positivity to our industry. Absolutely. And I hope that some people that maybe were young Charlie Coles or Jason Martins, I hope we've given them a avenue to travel down. And like I said, and most importantly, I hope that people love their horses and take care of their horses and feed them lots of treats, because that's actually every day I go to the barn. I don't ride right now, but I feed them treats. And today we were out of treats and I was not very happy about it. So tomorrow I'm going to go buy treats. Hi, Laurent.
Laurent.
Laurent. Yeah.
You learn something new every day, Laurent.
That's funny.
I love
All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much for watching tonight. And Charlie, thanks again.
Thank you
Tim,
so
any
much.
last words before we go?
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate it.
We will
very
see
much.
y'all, some of y'all at the Prairie Classic. And
Konnichiwa. That's how I greet him.
Make
Sorry.
Trail great again. Now we know who created that.
That's right.
We thought it was Tim this whole time.
Cheers. This is water.
Cheers. Peace out.
I don't know what type of